Well, I hammered and dollied a little curve into it right there. I got it pretty even all the way across. I've got it clamped down now, which puts a little more curve in it. So now I'm just going to go through here and tack it 3-4 times and move on a few inches and weld up across the whole thing. Well, that turned out pretty decent. Still burning holes in it, so I'm trying to lay a little bit of a bead moving fast, but there's nothing behind it to cool it off, so it'd burn it through. So I just tacked it up best I could. I'll let it dry, wire brush it. I'll fill all the holes before I grind it. It looks like it's got a pretty even slope to it. And then I gotta trim it there and make one more final patch piece. But I think it'll be okay. Well, there's Mr. Roof all welded up and ground down. It looks really bad because of the grind marks. Makes it look like it's real crooked, but it's really not. It's pretty straight. I need to do some tweaking, but grounded it up, welded it, finished up all this. I still have a little more left, and I've got a few high and low spots in it. Got a little flat right there in the middle. I kind of hammer and dolly out a little, but basically it's in and pretty straight. It's flat across the bottom, got a nice curve to it to the front. I don't know what it is, probably diameter of the pipe or something. So this is all done and smoothed up. All I have to do now is make a curved plate in the front and another one here on the side, and some kind of a little something. I think I'll just weld this one right here. It's really close. The other one, it's a little bit further away, so I'll have to make a little plate or something right there. Weld that one in. It's kind of hard to tell what it looks like with all this shiny and grind marks on it, but I can tell that it won't take much Bondo to straighten it right out, and this should look pretty good. A couple days work. Everything on this car seems to be taking a lot longer than what I hoped it would, but in the end it turns out looking pretty good. I tried some of my killer rust converter here. It looks pretty good on rough rust. It's sealed it real good. On the smooth stuff, it's still got kind of an oily feeling even after I washed it with water, but it does turn it a real nice black color. Feels kind of oily. It's not really coming off on your hand or anything. I don't know. I'll prime it and see what it looks like. I guess I get back on my Bondo jag here and finish up this roof. I'll tie this front end here. I should be done with my welding. I got some grinding to do here, so I think I'll have this whole front end here and windshield and everything ready to go one more day. Press on to the next thing. Alright, I threw a quick coat of Bondo on here, knocked it down. Looks like I got one little high spot there, a few lows right in here. I went to the this cab corner. I cut me a piece of metal and curved it, and is welded good here on the inside and good here on the outside. I have to fix this upper corner in here, but this is all good. I did the same on the other side. I just ground me up formed me a piece of metal, welded it in. I've got the same deal going on here I have to fix, but this flat part of the windshield, rather than try to put another curved piece in here, I think what I'm going to do is just split this, pound it flat, and let that bar be my flat spot. Be a lot easier to do that. Then I'll just have to fix a little hole over here. You can see that one there is about the same. I just cut it off, weld it up, and that should be good. It'll give me a good 3 sides on this with a nice curve in it. The roof didn't turn out too bad. That's just one coat. Just kind of let me know where it's at. I got a little to fill in here, a couple little spots over there, and I'll have to transition it into this corner here a little. But basically it's good and straight. These little cab corner patches are going to look fine. Yeah, that one there will look real good. I just weld up those holes, grind it off in there. Same thing with this one. I'll cut it about right here somewhere, and maybe split it, pound it flat, weld it to this brace, and then clean this all up flat. It'll look good. It's too much trouble to try to put another piece that would match that in it anyway. So just a little welding around the top corners here and fixing these two, I guess you'd call them joints, and this will be done. So throw a little more Bondo on it and I should be good to go. I worked on this a little more, put some more weld in it, ground it down. I'll have to fix this hole here. Not sure what I'll do there. Looks like I need to cut a little plate, put it in here, like a 90 or something, just to cover that hole. and a little more rounding to do. But this windshield area is starting to turn out pretty decent. I'll have it all done by the end of the day. I got this outer plate on here. Kind of filled it up with weld a little. I got it pretty good up here on top. My flapper disc won't reach up in there. I'll have to take a grinder that I can take this off. Welded this up, same thing. I got to grinder it down. But that basically finishes up this. Don't look too bad. I mean, I'm going to lose most of this groove in here. Well, there isn't any. It's flat. So it'll look all right. I'll just have to clean it up. Fill it with Bondo. It took a little more time than I thought, so I didn't get to that one over there. My new medicines came in. I took them. And I haven't been taking them for the last couple of weeks, so it sort of knocked me out. But anyway, back at it again. Well, I tested my Rust-Oleum out. This is supposed to be dark blue. I wanted navy. Looks brighter here in the camera than it is. But I don't like it. It's too bright. I wanted a dark blue. This stuff here is, I don't know, see if I can find a spot here where you can kind of see it there. It's a real dark blue, almost black. That's kind of what I was going for. It looks a lot brighter here. This is just painted with a brush. Not even a good brush. It was just a cheap brush, left some hair in it. I sanded it down. I didn't really put any primer under it or anything. You can kind of see some of the bubbling. There's a hair there. But it went on good. I'm pretty sure it'll seal it. Got a little on my tire before I covered the tire. But I wanted to see this, see what this color's like. It's supposed to dry completely in 24 hours. It's plenty hot out here, so it should. Dry to the touch in a couple. This is, no, it's still just a little tacky. But it's not bad. Looking at it in the camera view, it's pretty glossy. I really don't see any dents, but this is a good fender. Actually, there wasn't a whole lot wrong with it. Scored a deal today. I went down to the second-hand shop, and there was an air center there. And they wanted $45 for it. It didn't look too worn. Yeah, I offered them $30. They took it. I told him, I said, yeah, it maybe work, maybe not, you know. He said, oh, it works. I said, yeah, but once I run it 10 minutes, will it? Oh, we don't know. I said, well, that's what I say. I may be just buying a handful of parts, you know. Anyway, they took $30 for it. And works good. I sanded this whole fender here. Just rattles right along, and that's 40 grit. So that's a 40 grit paint over the top of a 40 grit sandpaper, so it covers really good. I'm sure if I was to put this over primer with a spray gun, it'd be a lot better. I just wanted to see what the color is going to look like. I'm going to try a rat rod bob thing on it, put some black on it with thinned out with a rag, and see if I can get it to kind of patina. I don't know, I just throw the paint on it. This is 25 bucks a quart. I hardly used any. Of course, I have 4 fenders, 2 doors, this whole back. I don't think a quart would do it. It might. I know it won't do it spraying it. But anyway, paint seems to be pretty good. I didn't really get to this side yet. I gotta grind up that. I'm not gonna do anything with this wet paint now. But car's coming along. A little more welding tomorrow on this. And I changed my air compressor around. I had a 1/4-inch hose that was running up here into my reel, and it just wasn't flowing enough. This is straight to the tank now, whatever it's got, 100 psi. And if I plug it in there, I just change that hose there and plug it in there, and now I've got it on a valve and a dryer for painting. I drained all the water out of my compressor today and cleaned up a little in here, and got a good air hose on it, so it sands better. I'm gonna have a lot of sanding to do here pretty soon. Anyway, keep pressing on. I'm kind of anxious to see what this paint's gonna look like. Well, I kind of worked on this fender a little, patched it up, and I mixed a little bit of black into this blue. Still not as dark as what was on the car, but it actually looks pretty good. That's just a first wet coat compared to this side. This is awfully bright blue. I think what I'm going to do is just wipe the dirt off of here. Maybe I'll try to sand it, knock some of that dirt off, and then put this other dark blue on it. You see that motor there is kind of a real light blue. But this is more like what I had in mind. Don't look too bad. I didn't want this car to be a real shiny stick out car to start with. I didn't use very much on that fender. I mixed it up over there in a bucket with stick. It's got a lot of dirt in it. I didn't really do all the good stuff with the Bondo or anything. I just kind of knock some of them dents out of the back, and scored it. It don't look too bad. It's looks really blue here in the camera. In real life it's kind of more of a dark green, but it's definitely blue. So royal blue Rust-Oleum with some black. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe this down and sand it real quick, and put it on this side too. Well, I wet sanded this was 180. You can see some of the water and paint there on the floor, but it was coming off. Of course, it's not completely dry. It's supposed to be 24 hours, and it's, you know, probably 20. But this top part was pretty good, so I'll have to sand all of this off, really, or at least most of it, and then I'll have to primer it if I expect it to hold. And but anyway, I put this coat of blue with black mixed in it here. It's much closer to what I wanted. It's not the exact shade. Probably put a little yellow in it to bring out the green. But anyway, this was more of an experiment to see what the second coat would look like. This is the same brush, same everything. And after this was sanded, I did a pretty good job of sanding it. It's 180. Of course, it's not really my preferred stuff, but I just did a block. But I like the color better. You can really see the difference here. I don't know how well this is gonna flow out or dry up or anything. I didn't get all the brush strokes out of the bottom, but most of them. So we'll see what happens with this. This side's turning out real glossy. And I sanded this pretty good. I think I got a big run right there. Another one up there. Kind of hard to tell with a brush when you're putting it on what it's going to do. But this is not a bad color. And I didn't use very much to do those two little rear fenders. And I've only got to do the trunk and all that around there. So I probably got a quart, maybe a half of this this color. I got plenty of that black left. I didn't use much of it. Not even half, maybe a third. So we'll see. At any rate, once I can paint it with this stuff here, it'll be fine. I just need to finish the body work, what I'm going to do to it, and then throw some primer on it. And you can see a reflection of my beautiful eggs in there. So I'm not Not exactly happy with this this color, but it's a lot better than that light blue color. Yeah, the one that looked like a tractor. So anyway, that's the deal. Look like this paint's gonna work, and I'll just have to finish up all the body work. That'll be my choice, and it'll cost me 50 bucks. That's not bad. And I can spray it with thin it with paint thinner. So yeah, this will be fine. I'll paint this right to the bottom of this thing here, and then I'll do all of the top and everything black. I've got a semi-gloss black there I mixed into the other one, but I'm pretty sure quartz it'll do this top, but I got to do the fenders too. So I'll probably have to buy another quart of that. And while I'm here, I probably ought to try to fix this firewall and put some black paint on it. But what I was thinking about doing, I've got a pretty good piece of sheet metal out there. It's like 8 inches wide, and I need about 6 or 7 inches here to make this hood match the top of that. So what I was going to do is go ahead and put my radiator shell back in, and put that hood back on it, and try to make me one solid patch piece across there. And if I have to brace the hood a little in the side here, don't know, it's been folded over, so it might be all right. And they kind of fabricated this hump down the middle. I guess they were trying to match this hump that's up here on top of the cowl. Pretty close. I can make it look all the way it should look. So that'd be the next thing. That's quite a bit of welding and stuff, so I'll get this hood on here while that stuff is drying and see what happens.